Hello everyone, Mark here with Mark's Max Muscle, and this is your second You Pick Tuesday matchup of the week. Mass Monster Lee Haney versus 1993 Dorian Yates 3 weeks out from the Olympia. You know those pictures, he is looking massive, and if you don't know what the Mass Monster Lee Haney is, I'll link you to the video after this one, and I'm telling you right now guys, Photoshop Freelancer did me a huge favor creating me this Lee Haney, and he has run roughshod over everybody. He defeated Ronnie Coleman, for goodness sakes. But can he defeat Dorian Yates? This is basically a Photoshop Dorian Yates. Everybody said he was plenty ready for the Olympia, and I gotta say, condition-wise, and I have to say, he is massive, pecs, lats, but so is this enhanced Lee Haney. And many of you might think this is unfair. Well, it is, but it's a fantasy comparison. And I believe Lee Haney was just getting his engine started. He would have been massive. Go to the next pose, and I'll give you my opinion who I think was better at the end of this one. It appears that Dorian Yates, he has nowhere to hide in this matchup. Funny thing is about these two dudes, both of their front lat spreads renowned. And the Lee Haney front lat spread really is the only front lat spread that can somewhat trump this Dorian Yates. Even a Dorianite would look at this and maybe bow down a little bit to Lee Haney. After all, Lee Haney did defeat Dorian on that Olympia stage. It's like Chuck Norris losing to Bruce Lee. You know, nobody beats Chuck Norris, they say. Well, what about Bruce Lee? Okay. We'll let Bruce Lee have this one. So we're letting Lee Haney have the front lat spread. Turn to the side. And Dorian Yates, there's nowhere for him to hide. Like I said, he cannot see to swing a punch against this Lee Haney mastodon enhanced. This side chest is the best side chest in bodybuilding history, if it existed. He was defeating, like I said, Ronnie Coleman. He's so huge, he was defeating Arnold Schwarzenegger, even in the enhanced Arnold Schwarzenegger, created by Superset Man. Anyway, guys, this is an easy win, easy victory for Lee Haney. Thus far, go to the side tricep. And again, this is interesting. Both of these two dudes known for a good side tricep. Certain years, 93 for Dorian, 87 for Lee Haney. If you look at all of their other years, their side tricep didn't really have the impact it did on those in particular years. But when you do compare those two versions, it's like the front lat spread for these two guys. It's a very, very strong pose. Very difficult decision to make. I like Lee Haney's almost every time it is close between these two. I like Lee Haney. Seems to be more aesthetically pleasing. But that's the two front. That's the two side. Now, let's look at the back developments. And this is what they mean by Dorian Yates. He was ready. Nobody else had these striations in the glutes. If anything, he would have been better if he had went out like this. Nobody would have. The Sean Rays, the Flex Wheelers, things of that nature, they would have been dwarfed. Speaking of Sean Ray, it's a 94 Sean Ray, though. Much better than the 93 Sean Ray. Much better. Look at the back on both of these guys. The back. That's a lot of meat. A lot of back as well. That's what Dorian Yates said when he first seen Lee Haney unveil that back. He said, that's a lot of back, mate. Now, how could I get myself a good steak and a couple of prostitutes? I apologize, guys. I'm sorry. Hey, they did find him in prison. Or he was. Anyway, he had a tattoo. Maybe the only Olympian, Mr. Olympia champion with a tattoo? I don't know. Go to the rear double by. And again, striations in those glutes of the mass monster Dorian Yates. You might as well say mass monster Dorian Yates. That's what it is. That is such a thick back. Lee had the edge in the rear lat spread because it's all lat. You're looking at the lats. But Dorian Yates has the rear double by because you're focused in more on the traps, I think. And trap for trap, it's not even a comparison between these two guys. Dorian Yates all the way, for sure, all the way. Good, round, full arms on Lee Haney. But Dorian kind of battles back with a hard, grainy look that is just second to none. Very difficult to beat. Of course, Lee has those fancy legs. Wonder where he got those from. Huh? Anybody? Anyway, go to the most muscular. We're gonna finish this one off. The mass monster, Lee Haney. Like I said, round, full, aesthetically pleasing. Dorian Yates, big, juggernaut, powerful looking, and grainy, very grainy. So it is actually a toss-up between these two, depending on who is judging this one. This is a crab position, this one. And I kind of like Lee a little bit better in this one. Dorian never, it was never his top 3 pose, the most muscular, with all due respect. Of course, they didn't judge it either year, so level playing field, guys. And like I said, could have went either way because Dorian, he battled back in that rear double by. Very impressive, very impressive. But this is your winner. He has run roughshod, like I said, over everybody. Mass monster Dorian Yates, 2003 Ronnie Coleman. He is the mass monster Lee Haney. I think he was doing more than enough in the front and the side to defeat Dorian, even though it was probably a tie in the back shots. Most muscular was close. Anyway, guys, that is a fantasy matchup. Take it for what it is. Hit thumbs up on the video. That was your You Pick Tuesday lineup. It was a dandy of a lineup, guys. Bravo to you. Bravo to you. All nearly 20,000 of you guys. Huh? Thank you, guys, from the bottom of my heart. Have a great day.